Honestly, I really didn't learn much about mental health until it hit me. Man, I haven't done this in a while. What up, though? It's your boy, Troy Justice Imported. I'm out here in Melbourne, Australia, and we're going to talk while I take some hacks off of the high tea. Shout out to Melbourne, Purdue for putting me on to the deep high tea. Helps get them hands right. Sorry, excuse my facial hair. I know it's getting a little wild, but it's no Shave November, or as they say in Australia, Movember, because apparently Mo is the nickname for mustache. And I didn't realize that until I started seeing posters around the gym that I go to talking about that. Not bad for a swing. No Shave November is really supposed to be a conversation starter, right? To help bring awareness to men's health, whether it's mental health or physical health, like checking for prostate cancer or just making sure that, your mental health's taken care of, because it's no secret. Men don't like talking about their feelings for real. I really didn't know much about mental health until I went to college, and they had posted a bunch of posters about it around this time of year when I was like a sophomore. And college baseball was tough for me. I wasn't doing well. I always felt like crap. I was always lifting and stuff and just tight and sore and just not feeling my best. I wasn't playing well, wasn't playing a lot. And I was reading these posters about signs of anxiety and depression and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I just kind of went on with my life until I had one at bat at the end of a butt kick, and I was on the wrong side of. And this guy, I don't know how, he was throwing like mid-nines, and it's like 30 degrees outside, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm like, it's the end of the game. I'm just gonna be loose, have fun, just, try to hit this guy. And I hit a foul ball, 95 mile per hour foul ball, and my heart just started like racing. And it wasn't just like normal nerves, like to the point where I like called time and stood out the box and was trying to like breathe. And the umpire was looking at me like, yo, you good, bro? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And it literally got to the point that when I was in the box waiting for the pitch, I don't think I was breathing. And that's not good. And this at bat took a pretty long time. It happens. It took a really long time because I had hit a bunch of foul balls straight into the other team's dugout, which was on the first base side. But guy he really only showed us 2 pitches. He really didn't need to show us any others, because this was probably the longest at bat of the whole game. I think I got 6 pitches, and I ended up striking out. Tipped into the catcher's glove, but hey, I'm just happy I got my bat on it. But I remember just being completely out of breath, and I didn't even run out the box. And as time went on, graduated college, started playing overseas. And I was in Perth, Western Australia, playing. And I was back in another situation where this ball sucks. My team wasn't doing well. It was hot. It was so hot in Perth, and we were playing like, I want to say maybe double headers, but we were playing like 12 o'clock noon, which, is the hottest part of the day, especially when your team's struggling. Me and other import were just trying to like just get through it. And I remember not having a few good games at the plate, and I'm just like, okay, what can we do to fix this? But it really wasn't a swing thing. I just felt like mentally I wasn't in it. And like the harder I tried to lock in to be in it, I just felt like I wasn't. Like I felt like I was having my at-bats as like an out-of-body experience. So I started looking up, how to get into zone, flow state, all that kind of stuff. And I was looking at all these things that help you get into your flow state. And I was like, okay, these are all things that I normally do, like stuff I learned in college, visualize, meditation, all your breathing cues, looking at your bed, all that stuff. But I still just wasn't in it. And then I found an article about stuff that keeps you from getting into your flow state. And that's when I realized maybe this isn't a flow thing, it's a mental health thing. So then I had to take a step back, and I was calling one of my friends about it, and I was like in the process of like explaining this to him, and he was just like, maybe you just don't like baseball like you used to. And I was like, nah, bro, that ain't it. But this was the first time I was away from my family for this long. I'm from Detroit. I was in Perth, Western Australia. I think it was probably about 4 or 5 months in. It was like towards the back end of the season. And it was my mental health that I think was having me zone out of these games. Like, I'm here for baseball. I love baseball. I love competing, even though, the season didn't go as great, wins and loss wise. But I felt like I was having a good time. I was making friends. I was doing cool stuff. But then when I got in that box, it was like I was up here and Troy was down here going through that bat. And it was just tough trying to lock in. So one of my friends from high school, she's a social worker, and she had posted this book about CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And she was like, if you want to learn more about mental health, I recommend this book. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna screenshot that and save it. That was nice. So COVID happens, right? Season ends. I go back home. I order this book because, I have nothing else to do. So let's read up about mental health. And I was looking at what the book was talking about, and it was explaining the symptoms of like anxiety and depression and stuff. And it was like, oh man, these are feelings that I was having and didn't realize what it was, like back in college when I was in Perth. And it just shed this big light on why I was feeling this way and things that I could do if I catch myself feeling like this to help get myself out of it. So I said all this to say, especially you athletes out there, and it's being more talked about now, and I love that. But guys, men need to be conscious of it too, especially when you're playing overseas, when you're away from your family and your loved ones, and you're grinding it out. Every import doesn't get to go to a team that's a champion every year. A lot of teams that need imports sometimes are struggling, and you're going to have a rough season. But nevertheless, make sure you're taking care of not just you physically, but you mentally. And a few things that I would recommend you doing. Don't hit the camera. I keep hitting the pole at the top of the cage. One of the big things is having someone to talk to. Time difference is tough. So I would try to schedule time with my friends to talk to them, FaceTime them, parents, family, and also making time for you to just be a person, whether it's go for a walk, go try new things. So when I was in Perth, I would go ride my bike, or I'd go to the CBD or go to the park and just vibe, chill, and just try to take my mind off of the things that were stressing me out. And that helped so much. And along with physical activity and stuff, it was tough in Perth because it was hot. It was 110 degrees in February, and it was still really hot. So I'm like, bro, I don't feel like working out. I'm not about to go outside and run. I didn't have a gym membership. We had a little small club gym that was hot all the time. So I was really just in the house sitting in front of the AC until it was time to go play a hot baseball game. I'll put the name of the book. It's a really good book, really cool thing to just make you aware of it, because you don't know what you don't know, don't you know? So yes, this month, rock your beards proudly, have these conversations with the people in your life, and check on those other people, especially, you know, guys like me that are overseas away from their family, whether it's like military or work or sports or whatever. Check in on that person. It means a lot to them. You never know what people are going through. Check in on the men in your life. Make sure they're okay. Like, it's hard out here, man. Like, I'm very fortunate to be able to play in Australia and play around the world and do what I get to do. But, you know, like every job, there's stressors. Like, I'm coaching a baseball team. My success is a team success, you know. And if I do well, this could lead to more other opportunities. But if I do crappy, it's going to make the future tough. So no pressure, but there's some pressure there, you know. And that's the same with every import. Especially if you're just starting off, you know, that first year is going to be tough. You're learning a lot and the expectations are high. And then, like, especially if you're playing like affiliated ball, indie ball, the pressure's even higher. It's even less friendlier. Like, at least over here, like, your club is like your club. Like, they brought you over here, you're one of them. Like, they're going to surround you and be with you if you have a good people in your club. 'Cause that's not always the case too. But like, when you're playing like AA ball, like indie ball, like, my friends tell me, like, nobody cares about you. Everyone there is trying to get to the next level. Like, you might meet some cool guys along the way, don't get me wrong, but it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and everyone's trying to get to the big leagues, even your coach. So yeah, it's different animals. So wherever you're at, wherever you're doing, make sure you take care of you up here. And if you're an import like me, whether you're in Europe or in Australia or wherever, you know, if you're looking for advice, if you're looking for somebody to talk to, my DMs are always open for everybody. And I think that's a big part of like why I'm doing this, the vlogging and talking about this experience in the podcast with Yodai, because this is stuff that no one told me. Like I said, I would literally just remember the poster and saw a book that my friend posted, and, you know, now we're here. So yeah, I need to go to my next drill, but I will see you guys next time. This is the Import Life. Take care of yourself. Happy November. And I'm going to be 29 next week. Crazy how time flies.